Yeah, on that last show.
Because you were in a jail cell?
No, that little red thing, the volume button, it must have in my bag. It went all the way down. I just noticed it when I was moving all the shit. Rich, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah. Ray has no idea, but that little thing that plugs into my computer, the volume on it was like as low as it could be.
Yeah, you got a couple pieces of equipment working there.
Yeah.
Got to check all the
It's still, as long as we've been doing this stuff, it's just weird technology. I'm just not used to it.
You got to check the cordy cords, baby.
Got to check the cordy cords.
It's been a while since we had to check the cordy cords.
Yeah, since we went to Granite Roots. That was the last time we had to check the cordy cords.
We got to do it without a live show.
Well, tell Bitch Tits down there in the top left corner about that.
Care to tell me about it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do a live show.
Top right corner, by the way.
Oh, you're top
You're top left corner.
Top left, yep.
Nice. Well, Ray's on the bottom.
Bill's on the bottom for me. I'd never let him up top.
That's fine. I like you on the bottom. It just cements your status as the bottom of the total pool of dumb. Hashtag 1918.
Never forget. Hashtag never forget.
Never forget. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Fat Tuesday, Celtics offseason edition, June 22nd. Welcome to the show.
I was very salty on Friday when I was going heavy on your insults, Ray. It's very salty. I drove 2.5 hours home and I was very angry.
Oh, those were good. Those were
actually, insults. What are you talking about? The text messages?
Those are some good ones. I'd go back and look, but our text chain is ridiculously long. Going back to try and find anything in that isn't.
Ray told me he never wanted to give me a Father's Day gift. He never responded after my couple insults after that, though.
Yeah, those were good. I thoroughly enjoyed those. I was laughing pretty hard. Sometimes you're in the zone.
Sometimes I wish we were on the zone of the show because those play.
All Billy Trashkin was in the zone. You were in the zone on the Monday show that we just recorded because how many beasts did we have in that? About 6?
There was one really good one, yeah, for a minute long.
A minute?
It was like a fucking minute long.
The after show you just wished death upon Jerry Remy live on air. So that plays.
That plays. Fuck that guy. I hate Jerry Remy. I'm probably the only one in New England that fucking.
You know who doesn't hate Jerry Remy? Well, I can't say that. You know where death plays? Nope. Do you know?
Just drink White Birch.
White Birch Brewing is the craft beer of choice on the Simple Mind Sports Show. Even though when Billy Rambles is with us because he has some type of fruity cocktail in front of him.
The Hendrix and lemonade?
Yeah, it's the 75% whatever booze, generally Hendrix, and then ice. But when
the bottle's almost gone.
It's just for color.
It's just for color. We're not drinking that. We are drinking White Birch Brewing. Something a lot more interesting and is Ray's favorite Saturday mornings.
How many of them do you have out on Sunday on the boat? A nice Father's Day.
Nothing, because Kelly was work, so I had to be very responsible.
Staying responsible on Father's Day.
Whoa! She left you with the kids on your day.
Preach,
your day.
Preach. She'll never hear this.
Your day.
Yeah.
You need to work on Mother's Day next year.
I plan on it.
Oh, good. Pay that.
And by work,
pay her back.
Drink. Maybe we'll do a live show next year on Mother's
Day.
Day.
I can make up some plumbing stuff, and we can drink one White Birch.
Fucking damn it! At White Birch Brewing, and Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address please.
460 Amherst Street.
Good luck getting a word in this show, by the way.
Yep.
It's basketball. I'm going to take a nap.
Again, they're on the good side of Amherst Street, so
very good side.
Keep that in mind. And if you can't get to the brewery, then pick up at your local beer store, White Birch Brewing. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing.
Hold on, let me pull up the email.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, they came late. I did read them. They just came late.
So, of course, we're going to talk Celtics off season. This is probably not where we would normally go, seeing as we're still in the conference championships of the NBA playoffs. However, Trader Brad Stevens has dropped a bomb on us, or did on last Friday. and it got us thinking, and a little bit of too early type of talk for the Celtics off season. We talked a little bit of the Kemba trade on Monday, but let's just rehash a little bit. Ray, the instant reaction to the Kemba trade, your thoughts on good, bad, and different. Obviously, coming back is Al Horford and Moses Brown for Kemba Walker in the 16th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft.
Moved a bad contract, that a max deal, that a guy that has a bum knee. He's in his 30s now, which probably doesn't have a lot left in the tank. So yeah, I love this trade. Yeah, we got Al Horford back, who Bill thinks he's going to be a bench player, but still, if you can move that contract, I think that's the best thing that you could have done this offseason so far.
You had to move the contract.
Yep.
You didn't want to be here. You found a team stupid enough to dump a fairly similar bad contract just for less money. This is what you needed. You had no chance of getting a Dame Dollar, Lillard or any of those Bradley Beals, because not with that contract. Because if you're giving away Kemba to get a superstar, you're giving away Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams. Those guys aren't getting it done. If for Damian Lillard, a 31-year-old point guard who I fucking love, you're not trading Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker. This is the only deal that you could have made. There's no other team that was giving you this. I know it cost a first-round pick. I told you yesterday in our Monday show that I did not like giving up the first-round draft pick, but that's the cost of doing business to get rid of an albatross of a contract. And this is what this is. This is like, he's the worst contract in the league. You had to do it. I don't like the return. I don't like Al Horford. He's just a bench player, but he's $10 million cheaper, or $9 million this year, and a fucking 50% guaranteed contract in year 2022. It sets up, Rich, you mentioned this a couple times in our text exchange, that it sets up for the free agent year in 2022. You can chase a Bradley Beal. You can chase Carl. I think Anthony Towns is up that year too. I mean,
Bradley Beal's the guy that all eyes are on, and all.
I have the list for you later on
about, because obviously of the relationship with Tatum. But yeah, look, this is a salary cap move that I think will have on-court repercussions.
Not only that, Rich,
year.
Real quick, it puts you in the first tier of the luxury tax, not the second tier. If you're in the second tier, then you pay like 125% or 110% of
110, I think it is,
everything you're over, and it gives you a little more flexibility now to sign. I think you have a tax exemption. You use your mid-level, but you have your like luxury tax exemption. I think it's like between 3 and 5 million, somewhere in there. So it gives you a little more flexibility to add to the roster now, because you can't sign a free agent.
Yeah, you can't do shit this offseason. I don't. Well, we'll get to the next moves here, but just in terms of Kemba and everything coming back, I think Al Horford will be on this team this year. I don't think they'll be able to flip him right away, and they might not want to, because I think he will be able to contribute in whatever form that is, whether it's 20 minutes a night, 10 points, 12 points, couple boards. He's a defensive presence that you have not had down low since he
leader.
left.
He's also a leader.
He's a professional. He's a leader. He has a good relationship with the Jays, and he can run your offense. He can actually run your offense that you want to run with the high pick and roll and be able to distribute up top as a big man.
Well, how do we know that?
Well, you don't have a coach.
Well, you don't have a coach yet. But with Al Horford too, though, like the Athletic article we mentioned yesterday too is he was holding guys accountable, and guys were listening to him on the court, whereas Marcus Smart was trying to hold the guys accountable, and
go fuck yourself, Marcus.
You know what I mean? That's
okay. Hold on. That's a great transition, Billy Rambles. But hold on, you're jumping ahead a little bit, because I want to ask you this question. What does it say that this deal was the first deal made by Brad Stevens after Danny Ainge, after 18 years of Danny Ainge? And let me just say this: after 15, I think excellent years of Danny Ainge. After the Kemba Walker thing went to shit, Danny made some bad moves.
No, it's Kyrie.
Sorry, Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie.
What did I say? Kemba Walker.
Kemba
After
Walker,
the Kyrie Irving went to shit, and we can blame a lot of that on Kyrie Irving, and I do. However, I don't think Danny recovered, and I think he was playing catch up ever since then, and he got gun shy, he got neutered, whatever you want to call it. But the 15 years prior, I think he was excellent. He was one of the best GMs in the league. He got you a championship, and he rebuilt you on the fly. And you have the fourth most playoff wins since that in the past 10 years, I think. I forget what that stat is, but it's the Warriors, the Lakers, and whoever else, and you're fourth. You've been to the playoffs every year except for the first year of Brad Stevens' tenure. You've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 4 times. You competed with Isaiah Thomas as your best player. You competed with with rookies. So let's just give a little bit of credit to Danny Ainge. Yes, he's been not great the last few years, making some bad moves. But Brad Stevens' first move, Ray, was to jettison Kemba Walker after reported tensions in the locker room with Brad Stevens as a coach and disrespected from Danny Ainge as an executive trying to trade him after the bubble or in the bubble, whatever you want to call it, because his knee was shit. Your thoughts?
Danny didn't build a team that Brad wanted, because that's what this seems like to me, that, Brad probably wanted to move on from Kemba last year, but Danny couldn't make that trade happen, like with Indiana. And also Brad really hates Kemba Walker because he just traded him to the NBA's version of Siberia, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So therefore, that was a big middle finger to Kemba Walker, saying, see you later. You don't like me? Go fuck yourself in OKC.
I wouldn't be surprised if they waive him.
Oh, I wouldn't be either. Or trade him.
He's owed 73
by the trade deadline.
I think after he might be, even with 1 year left.
Build your resume up and go to a contender that needs a fucking point guard off the bench.
I think so. I think Kemba still has something left.
Why? He couldn't get through 4 playoff games this year. They didn't play him in any back-to-back games, and he couldn't get through 4. He has a degenerative knee at 31 years old. He relies on quickness and lift for his game. The dude is shot as a player. It wasn't about the system. What you watched him play. All of his shots were short on the rim. He couldn't get by people at the rim, which is the only way he could finish because he's 6 feet tall. Nobody wants that guy for $36 million a year. Nobody. Not a single guy. That he's not going to contribute on a contending team. Moving that deal this is why you had to give up the 16th pick and take Al Horford back, because moving that deal is impossible. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better.
What if it's
not a problem anymore? Sam Presti's problem. He has 19 draft picks in the next 7 years, so I'm sure he's fine wasting a couple years away with Kemba Walker there.
Very quickly, though, doesn't the NBA, you have to have a certain amount of money on your books every year? Like, you can't be under. Like, you can't just trade all your players away and have like a minimum amount of. There is
a salary cap floor. Same thing.
Yeah. So
in the NHL.
So OKC doesn't have any superstars. So what if they traded and said, all right, we'll keep this guy on the books for the next year. We'll pay half his shit or whatever.
That's also how you get your 14 draft picks from now until 2026.
Exactly.
You can't keep a lot. The NBA, you have to match salaries. It's not like the NFL. You can't like withhold a lot of that salary. So. Look, the guy. I don't see Kemba Walker moving from Oklahoma City. I see a more realistic him sending him home like they did Al Horford. So go rest your knee, Kemba. It's bad again. You might not see Kemba play ever again because of the wasteland of Oklahoma City.
I said it on yesterday's show. I mean, it's a win. It's a win to just dump that contract. We said. Yes. Yeah. Gordon Hayward had the worst contract in the NBA. I would rather have Gordon Hayward's contract than that fucking shitbag Kemba Walker and one knee.
Kemba Walker. I don't know if he's a shitbag, but he definitely can't play anymore.
Yeah, when I get drunk, my Boston shit comes out.
I hear you.
Yeah, should have been there on the other Saturday when we did that.
The
kids come and play. You did the same thing. Chicka, suck my dick.
16th pick, Ray. You had some strong thoughts. Look at how quick that Kendricks is going down now.
I know. I might have to make another one. I should have brought the bottle.
Why don't you go do that while Ray and I have a conversation?
No.
Ray, the 16th pick. You don't give a shit about giving up the 16th pick?
No, it's nothing. Look at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were third overall picks. They haven't amounted to anything. They haven't brought you a championship yet. What do you think a 16th pick's going to do? Nothing. Get rid of it. Fucking get whatever you can for them.
I agree with you. The only thing I'll say is you probably could have done it for next year's pick with the way that Oklahoma City is stockpiling first rounds, but it's Brad's first rodeo. I don't know if he was trying to make a statement with the league that said, look, it's not Danny Ainge anymore. We're okay.
That's exactly
technically
what it was,
losing trades if that's what it takes to move contracts. We're here to deal. We're here to do things on the level. We're not going to bend you over a barrel for every move we make. So, yeah, I was okay with the 16th round pick too. Also, you don't need another Romeo Langford and Aaron Nesmith on your team. You got 2 of those guys already.
The Celtics look great already. We need to
you don't need more draft picks. And I think you're right, Ray, when you said that Danny didn't build Brad his team, because he probably looked around and goes, what the fuck am I looking at? I got clones left and right of guys that can't play in the NBA, and you keep drafting them. What do you want me to do with these guys? What do you want me to do with them?
Nesmith, Pritchard, last year. It's like, why do you keep drafting these guys? Get rid of these picks.
Yeah, and he did say, and this was ran on Boston radio when they traded Tice, and a couple times after that.
Who?
Brad Stevens said, "We're really small. I was shocked that Tice got traded. We're really small." He kept making that emphasis.
That's what Kelly says to Ray every night.
Fucking A. This has to be no Hendricks Sundays anymore.
He even said that in the preseason.
I'm off tomorrow, baby.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. He even said in the preseason that the team's really small and they're going to
I've been drank all weekend.
With that said, the return of Al Horford is one thing, but the return of Moses Brown, who is a young 7'2" prospect who dropped 21 and 23 on your ass, Celtics fans, is he something that we should look at and be, is he Robert Williams insurance if they want to move him in a deal? Is he Al Horford insurance if they move a couple guys in the deal? You got 4 centers at this point. So
thank God Tommy Eisen is dead, because he would be the next coming of Bill Russell. And get ready for Celtics fans to praise this guy as the next up and coming superstar.
They've already called him the chief. They've already
exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, Robert Parrish. Oh, great. Thank God we have Brian Scalabrine making shit like that, because I can't. I don't know who this guy is. You put up fucking big numbers against a shitty Celtics team who's notoriously bad for rebounding, going back to fucking Garnett and Perkins. They can't rebound the fucking ball. You had one good game. Nice. You had one good game. Nice.
Well, look, you got bigger. You traded Kemba Walker, who is 6 feet tall, for 2 7-footers. So they can't rebound the ball. They just picked up 2 guys who can rebound the ball. So, Bill, stop watching TV or texting.
I'm sorry.
You're doing.
I'm sorry.
Nardone your ass for not paying attention in class.
You're gonna let me lay down and beat me in the face with the titties?
If you don't shut the fuck up. Yeah.
I've always wanted that. I asked her to the prom.
Ray, what do you think Jason and Jalen think of this move?
You haven't heard anything except for Tatum, who was on the golf course once the move was made, and he had 4 words to say about Kemba Walker being traded. Damn, my boy for life. So I don't know. I don't think he was very happy with the Kemba Walker trade, but
who was that? Tatum?
Tatum, yeah.
No, Al Horford's his boy.
He was very upset that Tatum Walker got traded.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Getting Al Horford back for him is huge, because I think Al Horford was a mentor for him when he came in the league. Jason Tatum came in the league when Al Horford was on the team. That's a veteran leader that I think he listens to, and I think him and Jaylen Brown both were pretty ecstatic before. And you know what I mean? I just think both those guys. I think it helps them more, and it's a veteran that these young kids can lean on, because the veteran they're trying to lean on, Marcus Smart, they fucking
yuck.
Yeah, exactly. They toned him out last year and probably 2 years ago with the Morris and Kyrie shit.
Great segue, Bill. Can I just set all this up for you real quick without you go text?
Yeah, go on your phone.
Watch your
nope.
baseball
game. I put it down. Okay. I'm sorry.
Let me give you this. So the Athletic article that talked about Kemba dysfunctional relationship with Danny Ainge, the tension that was. You're still looking at your phone. You fucking bitch.
I'm reading the email. All right, that's a lie. I'm not reading the email.
No shit.
Yeah, we know you're.
Now I'm reading the email.
Danny Ainge had a bad relationship with Kemba after trying to trade him. When Gordon Hayward left on his way out the door, he told his buddy and his old mentor Brad Stevens that you don't have enough control over this locker room. You need to really make a.
Yeah, he told him November, right? It was November. He told them that.
And Brad Stevens decided to do that with Kemba Walker on his defense, thinking probably that a 30-year-old veteran can handle me being a little tough on him with his defense. No, not in this day's NBA. Kemba Walker took offense to that, probably because in that same article, it was noted that Marcus Smart was giving preferential treatment as the longest tenured Celtics, which I think, here's a little building conspiracy theory. I know, get a life, Bill.
Oh, get a life,
loser.
I think that Danny Ainge had a secret love affair for Marcus Smart, who was his first pick in this rebuild and loved himself some Marcus Smart.
He also loved that Chinese guy that
would not move on from him for Vucevic, would not move on from him from Aaron Gordon. He wouldn't move on from him in this offseason, in this trade deadline to get a decent piece back. I think that a lot of that was stemming from Danny Ainge, and Brad Stevens was trying to deal with it. I think Brad Stevens had tension with Danny Ainge. I think Danny Ainge lost his fucking grip on the entire organization. And that's where we stand today, which leads me to my question for Raymond. Should Brad Stevens be making more big deals before he has a head coach, or is he clearing out the shit that he knows is in that locker room because he was just there before he brings in a coach?
He knows the cancer in the locker room, and he's getting rid of it for the next coach to become Boston Celtics head coach. So, yeah, I think Marcus Smart's the next one out, and Robert Williams. I think that's the next two you're going to see because those guys are just not what Brad Stevens ever wanted in the locker room.
I disagree on Robert Williams.
Of course you do. You love Time Lord.
No, let me finish. I've been reading a few articles. A lot of the beat writers saying now is the time to sign him. He's an injury-prone guy, but if the potential's there, think about like the Gronk deal for the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like they go on his potential. They signed him on his potential. An injury-prone guy, you can probably get him below market value. I think, and a lot of the guys around the team think you can get him below market value. I don't think Robert Williams is a guy that you're probably looking to move. And we just mentioned Moses Brown, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, Moses Brown.
He's Robert Williams insurance because Robert Williams is your starting center. Because the potential he showed when he was playing, I mean, you saw it in the playoffs. I get it. He got turf toe, which is a baby back bitch injury. But like you saw it, that you saw the potential, the growth that he had. If he could stay healthy, I mean, that's your starting center. So if you could lock him up now for cheap money, 7-10 million on a 3-year deal, little bridge deal, that's a move you're probably going to make. I don't think you're going to move him. I really don't. I think if the guy that you're going to move, if Brad's really trying to clear out the locker room, it's got to be a guy that's Marcus Smart because you look at Brad's talking to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the next coach of this team. He's talking to him.
I think so. I think that he's getting input, or I think he knows their input from coaching him for several years. On the Robert Williams, you sign him now because what Bill's saying is right. The potential's there, but the
trade potential's there too. If you think about Jamison Crowder had the best contract in the NBA when he was 5 years, 35 million.
The potential is there, but he has yet to really blossom. So you can get him on a cheaper deal. This was also the rationale with Marcus Smart, by the way, that you signed him to a really tradable contract, quote unquote. But Danny's dick was so hard for him that they never ended up moving him. I can see a Robert Williams, the Celtics liking him, letting him try and progress in their system. But if a trade comes along and he's the guy that a team wants, see you later. In terms of Marcus Smart, he has to go. He has to go. We said it before last season. Jaylen Brown is sick of this guy's shit. Everyone is. Marcus Smart is full of shit, and everyone can see through it. They think that he got preferential treatment for being the big brother in the Celtics organization. He probably did.
He's the longest tenured Celtic. That's what.
Get him out. The heart and soul of the Celtics is bullshit. That's wrong. Your heart and soul of your Celtics is Jason Tatum. And if he decides to leave, you're dead. Literally. How's that for an analogy?
Rich, you know what's funny? This time last year, you and I were saying he should be the captain of the Celtics. And now a year later, we're like, fuck this guy. I hope he dies. Get him out of here.
Marcus Smart?
Yes.
Before last season, I said trade Marcus Smart.
No, but we also said he could be the captain of the team.
When he had that one game against Toronto in the bubble and he won it, we said, no, this guy's great. From then on out, look, you got to trade Marcus Smart. The other guy that I think you try to get off your books is Tristan Thompson. That's $9 million. That's your mid-level exception that you can go out and use again. It takes you off the hard cap if you haven't already with the Kemba deal. All these moves, Raymond, are all moves to get to 2022 and open up space for the common name, and I think it's true, Brad Beal, because of Jason Tatum. I don't even know if Bradley Beal, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum work together. But if it keeps Tatum in your system, if it keeps Tatum in Boston, then that's what you do. And I'll make this last point because I know you got to have something to say. That Tatum is playing in the Olympics, Beal's playing in the Olympics, Kevin Durant is playing in the Olympics, by the way. And I know there's a lot of talk around town that Tatum's going to be lured somewhere else. He's got 5 years. He's got 5 years left on a rookie max deal. That's too early. Nowhere. It's too early. If he had 2 years left, sure, we can talk about it.
I think if anyone's going anywhere, it's Jaylen Brown.
I disagree.
But my point of Tatum fighting his way out of town, he can't do that for 2 years minimum, 3 years probably. So with Bradley Beal coming up on his contract next season, that's the guy they're going to target. And I think all of these moves you're about to see is to open the space to go get him, to keep Tatum happy. And if that means Jalen's got to go, then that means Jalen's got to go. And that's what I think they're thinking, Ray. Do you agree, or would you have a different perspective?
I don't know. This free agent class for 2022 is phenomenal.
ahead.
You got
Go ahead.
John Wall, James Harden, Russell
Ew.
Westbrook, AD,
Ew.
Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker,
Ew.
Jimmy Butler, and Kyrie Irving, all player options. Then you got Steph Curry, Chris Paul, and Kawhi Leonard, all on bird right deals. So that is a lot of guys. So I think Bradley
go through the list again and go through it slower because Bill's an asshole.
Well, agreed. John Wall, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker, Jimmy Butler, and Kyrie Irving, all on player option deals, which probably they'll all opt out because the salary cap's going to go up. So I feel like they'll all opt out to get more money. And then you got Steph Curry, Chris Paul, and Kawhi Leonard.
You don't have a shot at any one of those guys.
Those are
So.
Brad Beal.
I mean, come on.
You got Brad Beal.
You don't think the Celtics can get one of those guys?
Well, Bradley Beal, Rich, you brought up a good point because a buddy of mine was texting me the same thing. I don't think Bradley Beal fits with this team. I don't think Bradley Beal fits with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I really don't. I just think the way he plays, he's a ball dominant, shooting guard. He can play the point. I just don't think he fits with this team. Honest to God, if you sell out to get a Bradley Beal type, you're going to have to pay him a Kemba deal. And it's the same thing that you just ran through with fucking Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, all these guys that you're signing in your 29 to 31 year old range, right? They're going to break down. Bradley Beal has a big injury history. He put it together this year. He almost led the league in scoring, right? I think he lost on the last day, or was that last year? I don't remember. But either way, I love the player, but I'm sick and tired of the Celtics. We just had to dump a fucking terrible 30-year-old contract to Kemba Walker to get a 35-year-old Al Horford back to save $9 million. I'm tired of the Celtics doing that. I think if you're going to clear money to get guys, you need to start looking at trades at that point, not looking at that fucking free agent list you just gave me. Yeah, there's superstars on that list, but I'm not investing money in aging superstars anymore. And
how old do you think Bradley Beal is?
He'll be 30 when his fucking contract's up. It doesn't matter. He's an injury-prone player, and I'm out on Bradley Beal.
All right, hold on. How old is Bradley Beal?
He's 27 right now, so next year he'll be 28.
Let me say
close enough.
Let me tell you. Let me give you a perspective of why Bradley Beal. Well, I have one answer for why Bradley Beal is the guy that you should go get and identify. Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum is 23.
And he also babysat him.
Exactly. So if that's what makes him happy, no problem. And from the basketball standpoint, here's what I'll say about Bradley Beal in his game. I think this is thinking optimistically and not knowing the game intrinsically as I should, but I think Bradley Beal could become your James Harden in terms of being your scoring point guard who has more ability to distribute than a Kemba Walker. If you look at Kemba Walker versus Kyrie Irving in this offense and what they did, Kemba Walker basically has no distribution skills, almost none. He also has almost no skills of shooting without the ball in his hand. Bradley Beal almost led the league in scoring by himself. That's not Kemba Walker. Honestly, he's a better scorer than Kyrie Irving, and he's a better basketball player all around than Kemba Walker. So you have those things that he could mold his game to. I don't know if that works with Jaylen Brown or not, but that's where I would go.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's my point. Bradley Beal, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown's the one guy that needs to mold his game. He's the guy that needs to adjust his game the more to fit those guys. I don't think Bradley Beal's the guy that's going to do that. I don't think that Bradley Beal's going to be the guy, say Paul Pierce, that just kind of it's a buy-in team first guy.
I'm going to interrupt you and disagree, because I don't think you watch a lot of Wizards basketball. I listen to a lot of Wizards contract.
No, you're in the heart of Wizards.
He said multiple times that I don't want to, and this might be bullshit, but I don't want to leave the Wizards. I want to be here for a long time. He has, I'm sure he has the same aspirations as a lot of these.
It's
NBA
the same
guys.
thing I say about Ray's mom. I don't want to leave you. I've tried to divorce you. I don't want to leave you.
Keep coming back for more.
I think we can grow
Bradley
here.
Beal wants to win. I think he wants to win. I really do. I really think Bradley Beal has that in him, that he wants to win, and he's sick of being on shit teams around shit players. So whatever Ray's mom thinks about that, that's what I think about Bradley Beal.
Thanks, Irene.
Ray, thoughts?
No, yeah, I'd take Bradley Beal. I mean, you need a superstar. You need in order to compete in the NBA now, you need a three-headed monster. Get Bradley Beal, put the two J's. That'd be I think a winning recipe. And I think you could get a lot of veterans coming here on that veteran minimum deals that they used to see with the Celtics when they were in their heyday. So I'd go for it. All right.
If you have, let me paint a picture.
He has a gut. You see that gut?
Yeah. He's
you call him skinny.
Well, he's got like a hourglass shape
because he has no ass,
and then his love handles pop out.
Yeah. What size do you think that is? A large?
I don't know. He's not very tall. You guys are short. Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, Jaylen Brown, put whoever else around him that can shoot and rebound and play defense. That's the modern NBA. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. And the greater point is, again, the modern NBA is make your superstars happy. Jason Tatum wants to play with his babysitter. Let him play with his fucking babysitter. And if that means Jaylen Brown gets upset and you trade him for assets that bring something else, then that's the point you're at. That's the point you're at.
But you could get stuff for Jaylen Brown too. So it's not like you get nothing. Yeah.
Of course. But I don't think that Bill's right in that Jaylen Brown is the guy to mold his game more.
Breath bottle. It's almost gone.
Okay, good. Can you just give me a minute? Just let me talk through this for a second, Bill.
It's hold on. Before you go, it's this idiot's down below us or below me, just laughs and just makes me laugh and just throws me off my game. He's an idiot. He's a fucking
You're
idiot.
stirring your fucking drink with your finger.
Degenerate.
Lose your mom's with my tongue.
Let's see here. 8:56 beep.
Let me focus on not Bradley Beal in 2022. Let me focus on 2021 Boston Celtics, which I believe is important that they have a good season. And a good season means with Jason Tatum on that roster, with Jaylen Brown on that roster, you should be finishing in the top. You should be finishing the top half of your division with just those two guys. I believe that, especially if Brad Stevens can go and bolster this roster. Even if Smart's here, he's a good enough player that if you just kept your fucking head on straight this year and didn't go through two terrible runs of awful basketball, you would have been the 4 or 5 seed. You wouldn't have caught the Nets in the second round. You'd probably still be playing basketball. So with that said, do these moves in this offseason, still keeping 22 open for a superstar, max player, Bradley Beal, whoever. I think there's a couple things you do. I think you move Smart. I think you try to move Tristan Thompson. I think you sign Evan Fournier for like a 1-year, $20 million deal, $22 million.
20 to 25, I think, is the range we've talked about before. You got to overpay to keep your guys because you can't sign anything comparable to him on the open market.
Right. You have an $11 million. I know people are going to roll their eyes, but you have $11 million left in a trade exception that I think you should try and go do something with. And even if the fit's right, if you got to give up a draft pick for like a good young up and coming player on a cheap deal, then go do that too. The point is you have flexibility, and I think you need to make enough moves to stay competitive this year.
Do you have any other draft picks that are not yours over the next couple of years?
No, you got nothing. You're just Danny.
Oh, so the tanks run dry?
Hoarder Danny made all the picks.
And this is what we got? This is it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so glad he's gone.
Welcome to reality, Bill.
I think you have to let Peach Baskets, Romeo Langford, and Pritchard hold down a big part of your bench to see what you have. And again, Robert Williams is there. This Moses Brown fucking guy. Who? Those are the guys on your bench that I think you let play and you bring in and see if you want to flip them, then you flip them, or maybe they become something. But the Carson Edwards, Taco Fall, Tremont Waters, bye-bye.
You didn't say one. You didn't say one guy, and I really like to know your opinion on that.
Semi Ojeleye,
get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. I didn't know if you were like you're on the cups right there.
Centers, you could get the 3-and-D specialist Semi Ojeleye. Yeah, I think Danny Ainge got this hard on for his fucking guys.
That's what I call Ray's mom when I feel
stupid. Stupid fucking. You know what? This has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Fat Tuesday, Celtics offseason edition. Billy Trash Can, everybody. Good Wednesday. Bye.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Bye.
Bye.
You ended the show. I hope you're fucking happy. I hope you're happy. I hope that third Hendrix really does well for you.
I know. It's just so easy to make fun of Irene. I'm sorry. Sorry.
59.
The problem is everything I
have so
say.
much work to do tomorrow.
Every time in a show, everything I say, Ray just starts laughing, and then I just got to feed into this idiot.
Oh, you blame that on me? I didn't even laugh on that. Rich said 3 and D, and you fucking said it.
just comes in my head.
Like Ray's mom's head.
Oh, got her.
We must start